Hey baby, this is Ro. Welcome to the back of the classroom. Go ahead and hit the like button, get your attendance taken for the day. Let's get started. Today we're talking about Law 29 from the 48 Laws of Power. Plan all the way to the end. And what that pretty much means is, from my interpretation, the way I read it was pretty much set a goal or what you want the outcome to be and work your way backwards to your starting point. So if you want $1 million, how are you going to get that? If you want to pass your tests, their goal should be, for me, the starting point, and how you start is the last thing that you actually start and figure out. And for me, the idea pretty much helps you not be boggled down or frustrated with the unknowns or the unknown variables that you're going to go through, right? Life is like a math problem. Algebra, X, the unknown, whether it be traffic, whether it be all the things that you can't predict, right? So if I got to be at school at 8 o'clock and I know the ride on a good day, no issues, is 30 minutes, I'm not going to leave at 7:30. I have to account for something going wrong. So let your buffer time be maybe 20, 30 minutes on what you would want, just to give yourself some time. Even if you get there 20, 30 minutes early, that's okay. At least you're not late. Let's say you want to pass a test on math. Go over all your notes. Write down every equation you've had to study, every equation you've seen, everything that was presented to you, because that might well be on a test. They're not going to give you something you've never seen before. Or at least they'll give you a variation of it. Get all the rules, write it down, make sure you can get the outcome you want, the right answer, verify it, double check, triple check, go over it again, make sure it's in your head. Once you got it, once they try to test you, they're only making sure you're efficient and you're good at what it is you do. A lot of times people go, oh, I don't like being tested. If you say you could do something that's not a test, we're verifying. You should have no problem with verifying anything about you. If I ask you for your ID, you're showing me your ID. You're verifying you are who you say you are. So if you say you can do something, if you tell me who you are and what it is, you should be okay with verifying it. Knowing these are the steps and things that is outlined in life, you have to plan for those things. All right, well, if I want to do this, some things might require credentials. Some things might require verification. Some things might require you actually doing something and pretty much showing your work, right? Which is what they wanted to teach you in school. Always be prepared to show your work. Just don't present something and go, well, this is what it is, take it or leave it. Believe it or not, somebody who shows me their work versus somebody who just shows me a product, I'm going to go with the person who can show me the work, because then I can make sure everything is how it should be and it's not a fluke. It's not oh, you just landed on the answer and you might get it wrong next time, right? Because it's 1 for 1. It could be you got a 50% chance of getting it right, or depending on what the situation is, you had an opportunity to be right and nobody will know if it was by luck, someone gave you the answer, or you just stumbled across it by happenstance. I don't know. So you have to plan for the unknown and the variables. You have to plan for life changing. You have to plan for the mood not being what it was when you started, right? If something goes on for a whole year, you got to expect weather change. You got to look at the winter. You got to look at snow. You got to look at hail. You got to look at roads being closed. You have to consider the spring. You got to consider the rain, hay fever. Consider the summer, droughts, thunderstorms. You have to consider every variation and variable of the seasons if something is going to last a whole year and how it might affect you. May or may not affect you. You'll never know, but at least you plan for it. Oh, if it rains, I'm going to do this. And if this happens, I'm going to do that. And if I have to pull certain strings and do certain things, you're setting up resources, or you're at least making sure you have those resources so everything that you want in the end comes the way you want it to. Hands down, can't go wrong. And even if something was to happen, you still have things in place to make sure you make it. Versus people who go, Jesus, take the wheel. What type of plan is that? You're pretty much planning to fail because you failed the plan. You've heard that before. And of course, you can't predict what's going to happen next, but at least you have an idea. Some people want to sit there and go, oh, well, I want $1 million. That's nice. How you going to get it? Plan on studying, plan on educating yourself, plan on playing the lotteries. You're going to work for it. You're going to invest. What are you going to do for it? They don't know. They just want it. It's nice. At the end of the day, stop being emotional. Think with your brain. Be logical. Everything that you want has to come with some type of work. You have to work, and you have to execute the plan. You not doing that only puts you in the back of the bus in the worst situation than you're starting off at, because now you're feeding your ego something that you can't satisfy. And then it makes, in your mind, depressed. And it might not be accurate, but I've noticed people who put forth plans and ideas and see those things through, although life has their own obstacles and circumstances, they're still happy because if they set out to do something, they accomplish those goals. And even if it's a small goal, it's still a win. Versus people who don't take no accountability, no responsibility, no forward thinking, and when things don't go their way, they feel they're entitled to things happening the way they wanted to just because they personally feel they're entitled to it. Gotta let the self-entitlement go. At the end of the day, you want something, you have to go get it. And unfortunately, maybe no one taught you this. Maybe this wasn't in your upbringing. Maybe you didn't catch on to it enough. But your upbringing should have taught you, if you're going to play with toys, you go get the toys, you play with the toys, and when you're done playing with the toys, you put them up. Because you have to clear the space for something else. And when you got to do homework, you sit down, you study, you leave out all the distractions, and you accomplish your goals. And then when you're done, you pack up your stuff, you take it to school, you verify you did everything right. And that was the grooming process of growing up and developing into having responsibilities, knowing how to clean up behind yourself, knowing how to set things up and position yourself so you can be comfortable and equipped with doing the things you need to so you can accomplish your goal and move forward. When you was in the first grade, you went to the second grade. After the second grade, you went to the third grade. Sometimes you had the same teacher, sometimes you did it. But when you changed schools, the teachers didn't travel with you. You left that behind. You moved on to something else. Same thing in life. You can get a job, a career. You can bounce around working from one site to the next, one employer to the next. If it's a career and you run your own business, you're dealing with different clientele. All these things is part of developing. Nothing stays the same. So you have to move from point A to point B. You don't plan on working all your life. At some point you want to retire, right? Or you don't just want to go to school, graduate school, and then do nothing. You want to move forward. So there has to be an end goal. Do you want to retire? Do you want to... Most people like, I want to get the newest sneakers. All right, guess what? Some people got cars. That's cool. You get a nice car, you got a nice house, and then you got some people who got boats. I've been to Florida, and some people got yachts. And you be like, oh, wait a minute. We thinking small. Like, I just bought a $50,000 car, and this guy got a yacht. He can go on the water. He can pull up to a restaurant that has a dock. They can get off and get food and get back on their boat and take off, sail into the sunset. And there's certain things that we just don't know or we're not aware of. And then we like, wow, we could like to live that life. Imagine coming and going from port to port like a pirate and just being able to just sail and be out in the water and see different things and not be around pollution and noise and just have a time of your life. But are we thinking that far ahead? Or are we going, wait, yo, we could do things in life. Like, we're only limited to our own creativity, our own imagination. If we go, this is what we said, we'll never go past that because we don't think past that. So read a book. Look outside, go outside your neighborhood, see what's going on out there and see if you're not inspired to do more for yourself. See if you're not inspired to have more, have a better quality of life, have something you could be appreciative of, something that makes you happy so that you can flourish and do all the things you want to do the way you want to do it. So if you made this fun a podcast, I thank you. I appreciate you. That's Law29 from 48 Laws of Power. Check out Rel's Locker. Appreciate you. Later. Peace.